Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Chalkola acrylic paint review. They sent me this awesome 32 set of their acrylic paints, and there are 32, like I said, paints in here, each about 22 milliliters per tube or 0.74 US fluid ounces. So this is what the box looks like. It's actually bigger than I expected. When I got the package, I was like, oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of paint in there. So let's open it up. This is what the inside looks like. They come in trays like this, and when I first opened it, I was like, I thought this layer of paint was the only ones in here, and I was like, that is a really weird color selection. But then you can actually pull up this tray, and there's even more colors underneath both of these. So we're getting all of this different color selection. I apologize about the light. The afternoon sun is just pouring through that gorgeous window, but I was ready to film now, so we're filming now. Okay, so I'm really excited about these because, like, look at these, like, really pretty pastel colors. Like, I really like this pastel purple, and these are just gorgeous colors. And then I'm also really excited to try out this copper and silver down here at the bottom. I think they're metallics, which is really, really cool. We can go ahead and open it. Yeah, one of the ingredients is mica, so it's got to be a little shiny. And let's just look it up real quick. Yeah, so you can see that it definitely is metallic, and I'm super stoked to see what that looks like on paper. And then the other really cool thing about these is on every single tube, you can see that there's the little plus signs, and then this little circle actually is, sorry, this little circle, it tells you whether it is, like, it has covering power or not. So this is only like half coverable, or it's like the transparency. Different from light fastness, it's more about like how much it can cover. So like, let's say you draw a black line of Sharpie on your paper, it would only be able to cover about half of that line and not completely cover that black. So that's good to know when you're painting, just in case you need to cover mistakes. That way you know which colors can cover things and which ones cannot. So the back of the box looks like this. It has all the different colors on it. And like I said, it does tell you the light fastness, the covering power, and also the pigment code, just so you know which pigments are in each of these paints. So yeah, they're super excited. Let's get into some freaking swatches, because you know I love my swatches. All right, let's just go ahead and talk about these paints real quick as I go ahead and swatch them, just so you can see what the color selection looks like. Like I said, there are 32 paints in this set, and the color selection is fantastic. You definitely get an array of every single color you might need. There's plenty of different yellows, there's a skin tone, there's plenty of different reds, warm, cool. I especially really like the greens in this set. They also give you 2 tubes of white, which is really just perfect because you always end up going through more white paint than you think you're going to, because you use it to lighten colors and use it to lighten areas in your paintings. Just trust me, you're going to want that extra tube of white. And yeah, these metallics are a lot of fun as well. Those were a really fun surprise. Like I said, I didn't know that this set was going to come with metallics, so that was a really nice surprise. The paints do mix well, and they are mostly thick enough and opaque, but like I said, depending on what the transparency level of the paint is, some of them aren't as aren't as opaque as you would think, but that's kind of the point of acrylics. Some of the paints are going to be more opaque and some of them are going to be more transparent. So just be really aware of that when you go to do any of your paintings, and be aware of that depending on what surface you're painting on, because you don't want to paint on something like a t-shirt or a rock or whatever with a transparent paint, because it's just not going to look right. So just be aware of that. Also, something to keep in mind is, though the color selection is fantastic, some of the tubes don't really match the color of the paint, so just make sure that you are looking at the color of the actual paint before you start your project, because like I said, the color of the tube and the color of the paint aren't always exact, but that's really typical with sets like these, so it's definitely not a deal breaker. When it comes down to price of this set, you can get this set on their website, the Chalkola website, for $24.95, but I do have a 10% discount code. It is Carly10, and I will leave the link in the description if you want to go buy one of these sets. $24.95. With that discount, it becomes $22.45. I believe you can always find these on Amazon too if you want to do that. So really great deal. I really enjoy these paints. I'm really excited to use them more. I love the color selection. If you want to make a really bright, vibrant painting, you can definitely do that. And I decided just to use black and white for this mushroom just because I haven't painted in months, you guys. So I felt really rusty and only trusted myself really with black and white. But I'm excited to mix more colors and really experiment with these, because that's what really, I don't want to say cheap paints are for, but that's what sets like these are for. With the variety of colors and the small tubes, you can really just play with them and not feel bad about wasting an expensive material. And you can still get as much experience and practice with these paints as you would with an expensive material. These are especially great for beginners or for people like me that haven't painted in months but especially love painting. Like, this is the set for you. You'll also notice that at the end I tried to cover up those 3 pink diamonds at the bottom of my mushroom painting with white, and you'll notice that the white doesn't completely cover up that mistake. I think if you kept layering and layering, it might cover it eventually, but just something to be aware of. You can't really cover a ton with these whites unless you really build it up, and that might have honestly just been the paper selection, so I'm not going to hold it against these paints. I still think they're great quality, like I said, for beginners, and if you want to experiment and just play, or if you want to paint on, I don't know, different projects like a sculpture or shoes or clothing or rocks. They're just a good time. I also painted this fun little sunset with the mountains and the moon. I thought that was a good time as well. I think that's all I have to say about these paints. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. I do post videos about art and about psychology and about mindset, and spirituality. So please make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.